Oh, God. All right. Here we go. Might as well talk about it. At least it wasn't a Russell Wilson, huh? Broncos fall to 0-2. They weren't shut out. Thank God they weren't shut out. They've never been shut out at home. That would have sucked for that to happen today. Today was already bad enough. It's Orange Blue Postgame Live. Yeah, I changed the name of the show. Whatever. Ah. Oh my God. Make it stop. See if the Denver Broncos can get on the winning track now with a road trip to Tampa and to the Jets there as well. And a week away in West Virginia in between those two games. Cecil Lammey here to talk about it. And the Broncos lose 13-6, not really as close as the game indicates. And so many things going wrong with this team. And then the things that go right only go right at the end, and they don't go right in order to lead them to a win. So let's jump through this whole thing tonight on this program and talk about it. Now, this was going to be a tough one. This was an ugly game. This was always going to be that way. It wasn't going to be filling the air with footballs. It wasn't going to be a high-scoring contest. And it was always going to be about 13-10, 13-9, I think is what I said on the pregame show with Dan Jacobs. I said 13-9. So 13-6, whatever. So it goes like that. But there's still so many hangups with this Broncos team that you're not expecting to be there, and they're still there. There's still problems that you see with this Broncos offense that, again, you're not expecting to be there, and they're still there. So how does Denver clear this up? How do they make things better as they move on now again with Tampa road trip and then a week away from Denver, where they'll be in West Virginia, where Andrew Mason and I will be as well to bring you the best Broncos coverage as we do on Orange and Blue today. And then there's the kid with Bo Nix. It works at the end. It works in like DGAF mode. It works in hurry up mode, and it's not like the Steelers are playing prevent. I'll have to go back and watch the film, but just watching the TV copy with the sound off because I don't need to hear the announcers. But just watching that, it's like, all right, they're not perhaps blitzing as much as they should, but it's working with Bo Nix late. It's working with little Jordan Humphrey. It's working on passes to the running backs, which should have been a thing. It's not working with Greg Dulcich. I do applaud the fact that the Broncos did try to get Greg Dulcich more involved. It's one of the things I tweeted about. I don't like live tweeting during games. It takes you away from the game. First, I think Twitter is the realm of the lowest common denominator anyway, and I don't live my life by the social media interaction. Like, again, that's not for everybody. Some people do. And the Twitter followers are a big deal, and likes and retweets and all that. Like, yeah, I don't care. I just want to watch ball. But one of the few things that I did tweet was like, it's nice to see him get Greg Dulcich involved early in this game. And I guess I'll nose around. I suppose I could ask Greg, perhaps ask Bo, maybe even ask Sean Payton or Joe Lombardi. But on those passes that are way off, is that Greg Dulcich's fault or is it Bo Nix's fault? Now, he's a rookie. You'd be easy to, blame the rookie, threw it in the wrong spot. There's a couple of times against coverages, and again, I'll have to look at the coach's tape. But there was a couple of times there where those passes to Dulcich were so off, and I was just like, did he run the wrong route, or did he not flatten out his route? Was it a choice route? Was there an option for Bo to put it in a better spot? Bo's pretty accurate, and we saw some un-Bo-like things as he continues to learn. But we saw some more Bo like things. So he's always been an accurate quarterback. He's always had good pass placement as a quarterback. So the passes to Dulcich that were way off, I just have to think like, okay, that's Greg, right? That's him running the wrong route or flattening out a route or not flattening out a route or whatever. Like, it's just those passes are so off. It's like, all right, it could be the kid, could be just a bad throw, although it could be Greg running the wrong route or going to the wrong spot or not having the chemistry that those two would need. And, it wasn't working with Nate Atkins. I don't know what my man Lucas Kroll's got to do to get active except be better. Like there's an option there. But the stuff they tried didn't work, and then it did work late. So let's talk honestly. And again, the truth is belligerent by its very nature. But I'm not going to stand for any sort of like, Bo Nix sucks. The Broncos got it wrong. Like, Bo Nix is learning. And if you can't watch that and you can't watch these games and understand that he's going to learn, he's going to break some eggs, make that omelet. Like, again, in one game, let alone now 2 games with Bo Nix, I've seen more good plays from Bo Nix than Bryce Young or Trevor Lawrence as a rookie. Trevor Lawrence went his entire rookie season, except for the final game, without looking good. There's been flashes where Bo has looked good. There's been flashes when he's looked terrible. He's a rookie. He's going to grow. He's going to learn. I told y'all before the season, and now that we're in the season, I'm going to stand by my word of like, I'm not going to lose my mind. If this is week 10 and he's throwing 3 picks, like, okay, there's a trouble spot there. It's week 2. The Steelers defense is really, really tough. They don't have many playmakers at all. And, I liked seeing them try to get Marvin Mims involved. That didn't necessarily work. I like them trying to get Greg Dulcich involved early. That didn't seem to necessarily work. Javonte seems kind of washed as a runner. Jaleel doesn't break enough tackles. Javonte, 1.5 yards a carry. I mean, you just can't. You can't go into a game where Bo Nix is throwing 35 times against that defense and think you're going to win. So there's some varying things that we need to weigh out here and we need to discuss on this show. Again, chat room's fired up. Already got about 250 comments. I'll try to get to them a little faster this week. But as I brain dump tonight, I mean, what do you want? You want to win, yes, but you want Bo to learn, right? He's going to learn and they're going to lose. He's going to learn and he's going to have some ups and downs. He's going to throw a pick and he's going to run for a touchdown. Like, these are just the things that are going to happen with Bo Nix, and we need to have the intestinal fortitude to kind of just watch him grow. And it's going to have games like this. But there are glimpses. The glimpses are late. And yes, perhaps they're blitzing less. It wasn't prevent from the Steelers, certainly Shell. But like, okay, the little Jordan Humphrey plays. All right, can we get more of those? Javonte as a receiver, it's something the Steelers are somewhat susceptible to. But he had 9.6 yards a catch. That's what he should be. And for Javonte, I'd put it more at like 7 or 8. For Jaleel, I put that number at 10. Like, he's so explosive. Like, he's got to, make those sort of plays. But then we look at what happened today. Troy Franklin had a target. Jaleel McLaughlin did not. So that's a mistake. Tyler Beatty had a touch, and he was a 16-yard run and then a catch for 2 yards. But it's like, okay, if you don't trust Jaleel, can you trust Beatty? Can you bring up, Blake Watson, give him a jersey on game day? And if Jamonte's toast as a runner, clearly as a receiver, it worked today. Josh Reynolds, 4 for 93. You still have, drop problems, concentration problems. And there's just some catches. Sutton 1 for 26. I'm going to get to that a little bit later because only 4 targets. Like, you're going to throw 35 times. 8 of them go to Dulcich and only 3 connect. Like, nah, 8 need to go to Sutton and 6 need to connect. And then Dulcich gets 5 targets, not 8. Either way. There's times with Josh Reynolds where Bo Nix is throwing it out there. It's not a great ball, but it's catchable. You got to catch that. You got to catch that. Now, you may be watching and wondering, why is Cecil wear a David Foster Wallace headband? This is water. You may be wondering, like, oh, he's just making excuses for Bo Nix. No. If Bo was a more advanced quarterback, if he was more of a veteran or a couple years in at least, I'd be like, make a better throw. Come on. But when the rookie is making a throw and it's pretty low and you kind of got to slide for it, but you can get it. You're the veteran, Josh Reynolds, not Bo Nix. And I like Josh enough, I was concerned. Remember debating my buddy Cam at the gas station. Shout out Cam and his pops Craig at the gas station here in Roxborough. But when they signed him and my buddy Cam was super excited, I was like, yeah, ask any Lions fan about Josh Reynolds. So, there you see sometimes the stat line's good for Josh, but there's just that one play where it's like, you could have made that play, or the one pass goes through his hands, or the one pass that's a little bit low and he just doesn't get it. Like, I'm sorry, but with a rookie quarterback, you're going to have to make these type of catches. You're the veteran. So make those type of catches. And you just didn't see it with Josh Reynolds. Courtland Sutton needs to be more featured. They need to design better plays. I still fight against, even if Shannon Sharp, which, boy, you talk about doing stuff on purpose so you can sell little pills. Way to go, Unk. By the way, she's faking Shannon. Anyway, so much I could say. When Shannon Sharp's like, Sean Payton's offense is antiquated, I don't agree with that at all. Who am I to disagree with Shannon Sharp? Yeah, whatever. But I think Detroit does a fine job of running the Sean Payton offense. New Orleans certainly doesn't miss Sean Payton, huh? Clint Kubiak. Oh my God, have they punted yet this year? Seriously, chat room, tell me, because it got to halftime of that Cowboys-Saints game, and they haven't punted in 2 games. They had 16 drives. They've scored on every drive. So, they might have punted, maybe. I guess I could look at the box score. But, okay, Clint Kubiak, right on, man. I'm excited about that. I like Clint. I've always enjoyed talking to him. Remember him at the 2010 Shrine game. Emmanuel Sanders was there at that game down in Orlando, and Clint Kubiak was there as a safety coming out of Colorado State. By the way, Shedeur, shake hands with homeboy. I don't care if he was talking trash about you on an interview. You talk trash about everybody, and then you leave the Nebraska game early. So please have sportsmanship. Please. The physical talent is there with Shedeur, but scouts definitely don't like his other stuff. Because, yeah, you shake the guy's hand. You make fun of him. Maybe when you're shaking his hand, you tell him, like, hey, you're going to go on Instagram now. But you shake a guy's hand. That's the bottom line. Anyway, getting off track. Back on the Broncos. Sean Payton's offense is not antiquated. Okay? Regardless of Shannon and selling pills and all that. Nightcap and all that. And Ocho having a good time there. It's like, okay, can you get Bo more comfortable? Can you include Marvin with better design plays? Can you design plays for Courtland Sutton? Can you scheme him open? And I don't even see that as a bad thing of they have to scheme him open. Yeah, who gives a crap? They did the same thing for Demarius years ago. God rest his soul. In DT, they'd do the DT play. And they'd design it up. They'd call it for him, usually pretty early, get him in a rhythm. And then Demarius was good to go, man. Can't you do that for Court? Can't you do that for Sutton? Make it real easy, simple wide receiver screen. Give him the DT play. And make it easy for Bo. Make it easy for Court. Get that connection going, because this offense needs playmakers. They need a damn running back. That's what they need. They need a running back. And I know Estime banged up, so I'm not going to blame it on injury, but look at Braylon Allen making plays for the stupid Jets today. Braylon Allen looked pretty good in the Broncos uniform, wouldn't he? Blake Watson needs an opportunity. Nobody's running the ball. Again, I give Javonte credit as a receiver today. The Steelers are somewhat weak They're not weak hardly at all, but they're somewhat weak when it comes to pass catching running backs. Javonte did a really good job. But Jaleel can't even get a target. Okay, like I appreciate Jaleel, but if he's not going to break any tackles as a runner, he's not going to provide you big plays as a runner because he doesn't break the shoestring tackles. I'll get to Bo and his self sacks in a little bit. You can self sack Bo, maybe not quite as much as you did today. Anyway, but like if Jaleel's not getting it done, get somebody that'll get it done. It's a results based business. I don't care. Honestly, about any of my feelings for these players, of any of them, whether I like them or I don't like them, or they're the greatest guy ever, or they're terrible to talk to. If you get it done, that's all that matters. Results-based business. Jaleel McLaughlin's fantastic. Great young man. He's not making any plays. So find someone that does. Javonte Williams, glad he came back. Really appreciate what he did as a receiver. But if he's not running the ball, you must run the ball with the rookie quarterback. So if anyone's out there promoting what Todd McShay said about Bo, or Bo's a third rounder, or the Broncos reach for Bo, or whatever garbage, nonsense crap that's out there about Bo Nix, and trust me, there's a lot. We're not even getting to see a fair shot, a fair shake for Bo Nix because they're not running the ball. Hey, rookie, go win. We're not going to support you at all whatsoever. Nobody's going to break a tackle except for little Jordan Humphrey. Dulcich is going to run the wrong routes, allegedly. Again, I'll find out this week. Where's the disconnect there with Greg Dulcich? But like, hey, rookie, go win at all. We're not going to help you at all. That doesn't work. Of course that doesn't work. Nobody should be shocked or surprised or dismayed. I personally, and it's not because I'm a Bo Nix stan or whatever. Again, he was my 5th quarterback this year. JJ McCarthy was a 2nd-round graded player to me. Michael Penix, excuse me, Bo was 4th. Michael Penix was 5th. But Penix and, his injury concerns and some work ethic concerns from Indiana, but the dude can sling it. But so, you look at the pecking order. It's not about that. The draft's over. Who gives a damn? Who gives a crap? You're here now. You're here now. So when I say something about Bo, it's not because I whatever. No, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Win. Nobody cares. Play better. But when I say good things about Bo, like, hey, there's not much I've seen from Bo that has really got me up in arms. Really. And it's not because of any sort of, idea or philosophy of life where it's not thinking, it's what to think about. That's the most important thing. I'm not going to burn calories when the rookie looks like a rookie. Nothing he's done is really egregious. The Sutton, the interception in the back of the end zone, put it where Sutton's going to get it and nobody else can. Know that the backside defense is going to be there. He's just staring at the front side the whole time. But he's a rookie. And when Bo messes up like that, I go, good, don't do it again. Minimize those mistakes. Move on. Get better. And that's where I have faith that he will get better as time goes on. So, again, I don't necessarily pay much attention to the social media buzz, but if anyone out there, or if you're at a sports bar, I'm not promoting physical violence, but if you're at a sports bar and someone's running their mouth about Bo, just tell them they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. I would venture to guess Sean Payton's pretty happy with what his rookie's done. And I would also venture to guess Sean Payton's not real happy with himself. I would venture to guess Sean Payton's not real happy with Vance Joseph. This team can't stop the run again. I would venture to guess that Sean Payton's not happy with his running backs. Plural. Any of them. Maybe Tyler Beatty. Again, I like seeing Beatty get that 16-yard run, man. Beatty's all energy. My buddy Luke, not my neighbor Luke from Mile High Huddle, but my buddy Luke, who had a 1-of-1 Tyler Beatty card. I don't think it was a rookie card. But he was telling me over the summer, he's like, hey, do you want it? And I was like, nah, I should have taken it. Because it's a 1-of-1, right? It's a 1-of-1 card. Tyler Beatty, whatever. But I do love seeing Tyler Beatty bring that energy because he understands. He understands the blessing that it is to be on that field. He doesn't take anything for granted. So, is it more Beatty? Is it Blake Watson? Because it sure as hell's not Javonte and Jaleel McLaughlin as runners. Javonte is a receiver, trusted in pass pro. Yes. But are we done with giving Javonte 11 carries for 17 yards? Like, and again, 19 rushes. That's it. Bo had 4 carries, and yeah, Bo's going to get 4 or 5 carries, maybe some design runs, maybe some scrambles, whatever. I don't mind. Just don't take a hit, Bo. Learn how to slide a little bit better. But it's like Javonte, these 11 carries for 1 yard a carry. Like, no, that done. Next, find someone, results-based business. Find someone that can get it done. Tyler Beatty, Blake Watson, you're up. Too bad Audric Estime's banged up, because he would be one there as well. So I think the overreaction, you played a, can I just cuss, please? Can I just once? Let me check a drink here. Maybe it's too much Wild and Watermelon, unpaid endorsement. You face the blankety blankers of all blankety blankers defensively. Okay. Oh, I'm so upset with Bo Nix. You face the Steelers defense. They are mother truckers, whatever I got to say. They are blankety blankers at every single level. Almost every player on that defense. You got 11 badasses coming at you. And Bo was okay. Like, it wasn't great. Obviously, they didn't win. They could barely move the ball. I'm glad they weren't shut out. But Bo went up against a bunch of ferocious players and came out the other side. He's going to be bumped and bruised. He's going to learn, and he's going to grow. So, I think people get too caught up in the quickness of like hot take. Well, I got to say, Bo Nix sucks. This is terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Sean Payton doesn't know what he's doing. None of that is true. Now, is it really exciting to say like, hey, everybody, just wait? No. Again, people want now. They're like the cop on Die Hard. A car's turning into Swiss cheese and need backup now. Now, damn it, now. Like, okay, yeah, and it's not here. It's not here. This Broncos team is incomplete. They don't have playmakers. And Tim Patrick wouldn't have solved this one. Okay? Love Timmy Pats. Bring him back. Whatever. Unless you go to the draft and you're going to say draft some different players, which, hey, if you drafted Isaiah Pacheco, maybe you'd be able to run the ball. I know I wasn't supposed to say that, but I think, are we done with that, please? Like, you had the opportunity to draft a Pro Bowl running back and you wanted a Division III return man. So it's like, okay, where's the help coming from? It's not. This is what you have. It's like the plastic surgeon who worked on the Joker in '89 Batman. It's like, this. Look at these tools I have to work with. Mirror. Like, yeah, you're going to look at the mirror and you're not going to like what you see. But this is what you have. Courtland Sutton is your number 1 receiver. Treat him like a 1. Defenders do. So why don't you? Why don't you scheme plays to get Court open? Court can make plays. I was texting with my buddy Mark. Shout out Mark. Make sure my phone's off. I think it is off. Anyway. Sorry, I have to send a text. To my children. Anyway, nobody's coming through that door to help. You've got to make do with what you have right now. Sean Payton's he didn't forget about coaching. His system is not antiquated. His system needs more playmakers. Why is New Orleans not punting this year? Rashid Shaheed, Chris Harris Jr., who I love. I love CHJ. Had him on Orange and Blue today. Yeah, a few months ago. We've got him on the fan. Is it every Fridays, I believe, on the drive? Either way, Chris Harris Jr., fantastic, amazing, spectacular. Chris Harris said during the game, like, can't you use Marvin Mims like the Saints use Shaheed? Yes, the answer is yes, because they give Shaheed carries. They give him deep targets. Like, let it fly, man. Let it rip. Let it rip. I've seen a lot of fans say, well, it's nothing but dinking and dunking. That's all this league is. Now, there'll be some deep shots. Certainly, look at what Derek Carr's doing. Wonderful mascara. Look at what Derek Carr's doing. There's going to be some deep shots. And damn it, you need to design those like Clint Kubiak is. But they're also running the ball. You would see a different Bo Nix if they ran the ball with effectiveness. If they had a running back that would scare defenses. And again, this isn't any shade at Javonte. Go be better. You don't want anyone to tell the truth. 1.5 a carry. I hope you're not offended. You're not good anymore. Haven't had over 4 yards of carry since Green Bay game last year, except for a preseason game, if we're even going to count that. Because we definitely see how different levels are, right? We definitely see, like, Bo was dealing in the preseason. Regular season's different. He's not dealing. There's flashes, though. This is where you need to feel good about Bo Nix. Even in a loss, even at 0-2 start, you didn't lose to Russell Wilson. You didn't get shut out. Things could be a lot better. Again, back to principles of life, like count your blessings. You know, this team could be Carolina. You could have a joke of an owner like Dave Tepper, allegedly, or whatever I have to say. So corporate, don't send me an email, but like, it's never personal. But Dave Tepper is a terrible, terrible owner. You've got great owners. Greg doesn't look real happy, which is good, right? Hey, listen, if I'm sitting there next to Greg, we're not laughing it up, yucking it up. I'm sitting there next to Greg. I'm going to be pissed off like he is. At least that's the way he looked when they flashed up to the owner's box. But either way, like, let's just look at this and go, okay, it's going to take patience. Okay, he's going to grow. But God bless America. God, I wish I could cuss. God bless America. You don't have playmakers. You can't run the ball. You can't stop the run. So teams can just run all the way down the field on you. They'll score points. And then the pressure is even higher on your rookie. You are not seeing the real Bo Nix. You're seeing Bo with one hand tied behind his back, the other hand has the butter on it, or so, I don't know. So I'm trying to think of some sort of complications or some sort of Japanese game show, right? He's in a gunny sack. He's got one hand tied behind his back, and he's got butter on his fingers. Like, this is a terrible setup for Bo. If anything, you want to be pissed at anybody, be pissed at Sean Payton. You're doing a terrible job setting up Bo. Sorry. I like Sean. We're friendly enough. Even if he was grumpy to me with Lucas Kroll, like, whatever. I don't care. Certainly not going to go fanboy media, which is terrible, by the way. Like the CU media. Most of the CU media, not everybody. But like, Sean Payton, you're doing a terrible job setting up Bo. So if anyone's out there, again, I'm not promoting physical violence, but like, if you're at a sports bar and someone's mouthing off about Bo, just tell them they don't know. You don't know anything. Mouthing off about Bo Nix. They can't run the ball. They have no playmakers. Sean Payton's not, they're not calling up the right plays, because when they do, Bo looks good. And I've asked, I don't think I asked Joe Lombardi this week. Who did I ask? It might have been McGlinchey. But I asked about carrying over momentum from that last drive. I think it was McGlinchey. I like talking to Mike. Mike's good to talk to. Because if he plays good or bad, he always gives you real good answers. But I asked about the Seattle game about how do you carry over that momentum? And then they didn't. And then at the end of the game, they do it again. So it's like, Martin Lawrence, can you do what you did earlier, please? Like, can you just do that? Can you just, hey, hurry up? Because whatever the secret sauce is, and I'll watch the film, but whatever the secret sauce is, just keep doing that. Just do that again and again and again. Bo looks good at times. Then he looks bad at times. But this isn't, no one can make bold proclamations. If Bo had everything set up for him and he looked like trash, that would even still be a little bit. I watched Bryce Young all year last year going, come on, Bryce. Come on, Bryce. Come on, Bryce. I had Bryce and CJ with the same grade. So whatever. And I know Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud, and it's all about fit. Bo fits with Sean Payton. That's a good fit. But damn it, Sean, you're not doing anything to help out the kid. Not at all. I'm not doing one damn thing to help out Bo Nix. Not one. Can't run the ball. Don't set up Courtland Sutton. Don't use Marvin Mims enough. You tried to use Dulcich, which was good, but he was off today. And again, I'm going to blame Greg. Maybe I shouldn't. I could be totally wrong. But it's like, okay, where's the disconnect here? Because you have a rookie quarterback. You have a potential gem. And like Tommy Boy, you're screwing it up. Where you just like JoJo, the Idiot Circus Boy. That's a movie quote. That's not what I'm calling Sean Payton. But it's like, dude, you're messing it up because you have this gem of a player, and Bo's trying, man. He's trying. It's not looking real good, but he's trying. This isn't a Drew Lock situation, okay? And I like Drew. I really like Drew's family. I root for Drew. I actually asked his dad in January. I was like, hey, would Drew come back? Please, Drew, come back. This was in January. I was texting his dad about the Senior Bowl. And I was just like, hey, would Drew come back? Like, I like Drew, but Drew didn't flash like Bo's already flashed. Even in the Buzz Lightyear Houston Texans game, like even in that, like there was a lot of false positives as we learned from Vic Fangio. And now that I've said false positive and I brought up Vic Fangio, I must put this on the screen. Excuse me. Boy, that was gross. Maybe I should mute my mic if I burp. And maybe I should put up Vic Fangio if I have to take a swig. There you go. Yeah. Hey, VJ. Hey, VJ. Seat warming up, man. How you feeling, VJ? How you doing, VJ? Defense can't stop the run, VJ. And what would you say you do here? Yeah. Yeah, this is puzzling. This is strange. Why in the world do you treat Bo Nix like that and don't set him up with a better game plan? You're facing the Steelers. If Bo Nix was going to throw more than 25 times, you're going to lose. That's the bottom line. Look at what the Steelers did. Justin Fields now 2-0 as their starter, and he doesn't want to give up the job. And listen, players love Justin Fields. Even his former college teammates still love him. I talked to Jonathan Cooper this week. I didn't get a chance to talk to Barron, but I've talked to Barron before about Justin. Like players love him, absolutely love him, and he's rough as a passer. And today, 13 or 20, 117 yards, and then 27 yards on the ground. But still, like, you look at what they did and how even at 3.9 a carry, now some of that was Cordell Patterson, 1.5 a carry. And some of it was Fields himself at 3.4 a rush, but you had Najee with 4.1. That's where you need to be, Javonte, not 1.5. You had Jalen Warren providing some spark with 4.7 yards a carry, not 2.0 a carry like Jaleel. Sorry, Jaleel. You're the greatest guy ever. You can get there at 4 a.m., and it won't matter if you can't break tackles. And again, that's not being mean or personal, and I really like Jaleel, but 2 yards a carry and no targets in the passing game? No, you need to be better. Jalen Warren provided him a spark, but they had 141 yards on the ground. They had 36 rushing attempts, 20 passes. The Broncos had 19 rushing attempts for a measly 64 yards. That's awful. 25 of it was your quarterback. So you take 25 away from 25 to 64. Wasn't that a song? I think we played that in band. So what are you at? 39, 40 yards, 41 yards? Yeah, something like that. Sorry. 39 yards. I don't want to do math. And then you have Bo Nix throwing a couple of picks, sacked a couple of times, no touchdowns, 35 passing attempts. You know, you go to Greg Dulcich 8 times, only connects with 3. Marvin Mims, only 2 targets. No carries for Mims. Beatty makes a play. You don't go back to him on the ground. You keep feeding Javonte. Like, that doesn't work. Sutton, only 4 targets. 1 catch, 26 yards. Pretty good. Might want to try to go back there. Lil Jordan's good, okay? It's not much to say about Lil Jordan other than the first game. Like, okay, don't drop the pass. But, like, Lil Jordan, that was working. Josh Reynolds, 4 for 93. That was working for the most part. Again, some issues with Josh Reynolds. Nate Adkins, why is he out there? You know, and if this is me advocating for Lucas Kroll, then so be it. Because Lucas Kroll is a better receiving weapon than Nate Adkins. He might not be a better blocker, but with the way your quarterback was under duress, like, all right, you're lucky he was only hit 7 times. Could have been twice that much against this team. Michael Burton, a target. Why? To sound like Sir Smoke-A-Lot. Why? Like, why? Who calls up the play of like, you know what? We got him this time, guys. We're going to get him with Michael Burton. And this isn't me joshed over, like, hates fullbacks. No. I understand why Burton's on the team. I think he should be on the team. Got no problem with him whatsoever. But it's like, for the love of God, you're not going to beat the Steelers by targeting Nate Adkins and Michael Burton. More Courtland. Get Greg and Bo on the same page somehow, some way. The Troy Franklin thing didn't work, although I admire, you know, they need some playmakers. They need some weapons. Tyler Beatty's a weapon. I think Blake Watson could be a weapon as well, but obviously the rookie's got some learning to do as they call up Beatty off the practice squad. And again, I appreciate Tyler Beatty for his efforts. Marvin Mims can make some plays. And I said this on the pregame show with Dan Jacobs. He may be a little more cantankerous than some of the other wide receivers. He's a wide receiver. Brandon Stokely's ego is larger than the zip code that I live in. Okay? And that's Stoke. Now, why? And I love Stoke. But why? He's a flipping receiver. He thinks he's the greatest guy ever. His veins are popping. Eating his crawfish or whatever. Like, that's great. That's what you're supposed to think as a receiver. I don't want a receiver who's out there as like, you know, Pollyanna. I don't want a receiver who's Stuart Smalley because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. I want a receiver that's an aloha. And Brandon Stoke, I love you. You're a little bit of an aloha. But that's what made you great. That's why he played 15 years. So is Marvin Mims, he yelled at Johnny Morton. So, big deal. Johnny Moe yelled at him. Johnny Moe yells at everybody. And I'm not promoting verbal abuse, but I'm like, okay, you're going to take a chewing. It's football. You're overweight men and windbreakers, which is a check for Johnny Morton. Overweight men and windbreaker yelling at you. Check. That's football. That's football. And if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So if Marvin Mims yells back, you know what I say? Good. I actually like that. I like that. You like that as a coach. I like that because the guy's going to have some backbone. I'm going to yell, I'm going to get in your kitchen, and you're going to get back. Okay. Now, again, I don't know why Marvin Mims doesn't play more. I don't. I asked Marvin this week, like, hey, how do you stay patient? Because a closed mouth don't get fed. He doesn't keep his mouth closed, by the way. Allegedly. Per source. But, like, I like the fact that Marvin Mims is a little more cantankerous than the other receivers. Yeah, give me the ball. Give me the rock. I can do something with it. Now, he can't run a route to save his life. And that's where I would push back against Marvin and say, like, hey, Marvin, learn to run better routes. Why aren't you playing? Because you don't know how to get open. But also at the same time, Sean Payton says it's on the coaches to create plays for their players, to kind of bend to what they do best. Marvin Mims can run really fast in a straight line. You can't give him an end around. You can't give him a wide receiver screen. You can't call up a go route, let it fly with Marvin Mims. You need playmakers. You don't have any playmakers. Marvin Mims is a playmaker. So again, you want to be pissed off about something. First off, you shouldn't be, because again, count your blessings. But it's like, okay, if I see fault with anyone, I see fault with Sean Payton. I see plenty of fault with Vance Joseph. All right. And they gave him more this year. Now, taking away Justin Simmons stings. I really like Justin. Wish him all the success with Atlanta. Really like Justin. Good guy. Good man. So Justin notwithstanding, that's a pretty big one. I want to hold on to that. But it's like, you gave him Malcolm Roach. You gave him John Franklin Myers. You gave him Cody Barton. Riley Moss has come around. I like Riley Moss. Boy, I didn't have Justin Fields going at Pat Surtain on my bingo card. Did you? That was odd. It's not what you want. So, like, Vance Joseph, you got it. You got what you needed, right? It's like you have a chef and you say, hey, go to the store, get me this, this, and this, and this. And then you do, and they make you dinner and it tastes like crap. Well, I get you all the ingredients. You're supposed to be the chef. I'm not the chef. You're the chef. Why don't you make something better? Vance Joseph, why didn't you make something better? Like, come on. I'm totally not going to say he's going to get fired. But you got what you need defensively. And I understand, hey, they held him to 13 points. The Steelers offense isn't good. Justin Fields is not good. Najee is good. Jalen Warren has some burst. George Pickens is, speaking of blankety blankers, George Pickens is, hey, George Pickens. And that big one was called back, but my God, Pickens against Surtain, and he was winning against Surtain. That should never happen. And I like George Pickens, but that should never happen against Pat Surtain. So again, Vance Joseph, you got what you need. Sean Payton doesn't have everything he needs offensively. They don't have playmakers. They can't run the ball. And I'm not exactly sure outside of a trade. And if you're 0-2 and at the trade deadline, you know, I'll look at my handy dandy card here. Now, I had them beating the Steelers. Andrew Mason had them losing. Mace has them at 0-3. I've got him at 1-2. So, but I also had them losing at Tampa. So there's a good chance they start 0-3. We'll see it that week in West Virginia. Me and Mace are going to be in West Virginia. So excited. I've never been to West Virginia. And I get to hear Mace say Virginia. Virginia. Okay. Virginia. There's an R there. Virginia. Anyway. I'm having fun. Yeah, so okay. There's a chance you're 0-3 and 1-3 coming out. You're not going to lose to the Jets. Come on. Jets. Now maybe they will. Maybe you're 0-4 or whatever, but it's like you're not going to make a trade for a running back. This is what you have. Peyton Manning's not walking through that door. Terrell Davis is not walking through that door. Whatever you want to say. And now as I have 1,300 comments, I'm going to try to catch up some of them. Where's John Doe? John Doe said, check down. 75% of passes today are 0 and 1-step drops. Would I like to see merit out a little bit more? You bet. You bet. John Doe said trick plays. Hey, the trick play worked. Again, results-based business. Razzle dazzle. That's it. Brendan says Arch Manning in 2 years. No, see, Francis has it right here. Let's just be patient. Was Arch Manning exciting to see that this weekend? Yes, of course. We're all rooting for Arch Manning. But it's like, I'd rather have Bo Nix work out than Arch Manning in 2 years. Because if Bo Nix works out, you're talking about a league MVP level type of player. Because is he Matt Ryan? Is he Alex Smith? Is he Jared Goff? Like, where's the landing spot for Bo Nix? He's not this, okay? He's not a finished product. And even with 61 games starting, this isn't Bo Nix, especially when they can't run the ball. What if they could run the ball? How would Bo Nix look if they could run the ball? He'd probably look a lot better if they actually could help him. Like, that would be good if they could help them. If they could help him. Kapula? Sorry. No whining, please. B needs weapons. Yeah. He needs weapons. Marquise says Pat didn't lose the game, but he didn't win or help either. See, and Flacco's got it right here. Chiefs' whole offense is checkdowns. They'll take some shots once in a while. Certainly Xavier Worthy. Thanks, Buffalo. My God, Buffalo. Hey, why can't we beat Kansas City? Here's Xavier Worthy. Gee, we can't beat Kansas City, guys. Here's Pat Mahomes. Thanks, Buffalo. You've unleashed a nightmare, and it happens to be in the AFC West. But yeah, just patience. Space Explorer, draft Shadur. Shadur will likely be the number 1 overall pick. And physically, and he's also very smart. But there's just the off-field, not shaking hands, being an aloha to teammates that left or whatever. There's the click that nobody in CU media talks about. Like, there's 20 guys that are cool with Shadur, and the rest of the team is whatever. There's a lot of stuff happening in Boulder that nobody's reporting on yet. So hopefully they win. Anyway, Nate says SOA vibes. That's right. I'll be Opie. Wait a second. What happens to Opie? No, wait a second. Learn from Kenny Pickett. Yeah, hey, John Doe must hate Bo Nix because everything he says is Kenny Pickett 2-0. Okay, John Doe. I'm not putting any more of your comments on screen because you are a moron. He's not Kenny Pickett. All right. And I like Kenny as a person, but he was never in a position where he should have been that. And Bo, speaking of that, I'll just speak candidly. Bo has looked better in 2 games than Kenny Pickett's looked in his entire pro career. So again, Rambo Wiz saying Bo Nix is Brett Rippon. None of that is true. None of that is true. So, like, was there a hype machine nationally for Bo Nix? Yes. Space Explorer asking, why is it Vance Joseph when they only gave up 13 points? The Steelers offense sucks. That's why, Space Explorer. And they can't stop the run. And because they haven't figured it out offensively, here's what's going to happen. If I'm Tampa Bay, hey, Rachaad White, you're getting 25 carries. Bucky Irving, you're getting 10 carries. Baker, just put it on cruise control, man. You don't need to put your foot on the gas. With the Jets, you got to stop Breece Hall. And the Broncos are going to have to learn offensively to get something going, or else teams are just going to run the ball down their throat, and that's all they're going to do. Todd saying Sean needs an ego check. We're all pointing the finger at you. Yeah, that's where you can. Diggity. I like that. Good run game would solve a lot. Yep. A good run game would make Bo Nix look better. Doesn't mean he wouldn't be a rookie. It doesn't mean he wouldn't make rookie mistakes. It doesn't mean he would never throw an interception. No, he'd still make those. Chris asks, is it the RBs or the O-line? I'll watch the film again. But in week 1, they were a top 10 run blocking unit. Couldn't run the ball. This week, Miners certainly was more motivated. Quinn Miners had the worst game of his career against Seattle. He would probably even tell you that. Statistically, it backs it up. But it's like, okay, this week I would anticipate they're going to be around a top 10. Last year, they were number 3 in run block win rate. So they can run block. Pass blocking, different story, but they can run block. So, like, is it the running backs or is it the O-line? The O-line problems are, I won't say much ado about nothing, but they are somewhat overblown, especially when it comes to run blocking. They can run block. You've got to have running backs that can take advantage. And that's why, like, Javonte's the nicest guy ever. Kelly says Ruben Drones ain't walking through that door. Yeah, okay, I got you. My man, Ruben Drones. Excellent beard. Mark says the ball running isn't improving this year. Yep. That's a problem. And I don't know how they fix that. Hannah Bear says, growing pains. The game is too fast for Knicks. We played 2 of the league's toughest defenses, and that's a lot to ask of any rookie. Some guys on this team need to step up and help Knicks out. Stop dropping the ball, start blocking, start creating turnovers on defense. Hannah, it's a great comment. Again, nobody needs to be in the Bo Nix hype wagon of like, he's the greatest ever. All I know is this is not him, and he's not getting any help. And yes, because chat room was making fun of me about like, oh, you said he could be an MVP. Yeah, he could be. With Sean Payton, he's Matt Ryan. There are some, Daniel Jeremiah specifically said he's Tua Tagovailoa. Hopefully Tua is healthy. Nobody should be making fun of that. But it's like, Bo Nix is not some slappy. He's not Kenny Pickett. He's not Brett Rippon. Like, again, stop. Tell me you don't know football without telling me you don't know football. He's Brett Rippon. Like, that's not true. And again, Brett's a nice guy. He's awful playing quarterback. The same Boise State. So it's like, Bo can be better, but you need to help him, especially as a rookie. There is a danger. And I hate bringing this up because I don't even want to manifest it. But I will tell you what the danger is. The danger is you don't help him and he develops bad habits. Now, I don't forecast that. I don't believe that will happen. Again, Bo Nix's game is not about bad habits. And if he'd had some bad habits, he had gotten rid of them from the Auburn days. He wasn't as bad as people think at Auburn. He wasn't great, but he wasn't as bad and got better at Oregon, obviously. So we have to go with, okay, don't ruin this guy. Because right now, you're not helping him. You're not ruining him. Okay? I don't believe that. I don't get that vibe. I don't see that track. We haven't entered that in the chat room. Ruining Bo Nix has entered the chat. No, I don't think so. But that's where you're headed if you don't help this guy. That's where you're headed if you don't block better, run better, catch better, play defense better. He's a rookie. You need to help him as much as possible. So Hannah, with the comment of the night, because I really honestly believe that's the best way to be. It's like, hey, it will get better. It will get better. It's not good right now, but it could be worse. So there you go. There's already a hashtag fire Sean Payton. Really? Okay. It's a little early for that. You drafted Bo Nix. You're in the Bo Nix, Sean Payton business. And the best way is for this to work. You're not in the Shadur Sanders business. You're not in the Arch Manning business. you're in the Bo Nix and Sean Payton. This is your combination. So either they're going to work or they're not going to work. Now, when they work, and they will work, but when they work, what is the level? You know, is Bo Nix the best quarterback in the league? Is Bo Nix barely top 20? Is Bo Nix somewhere in between there? You know, is he like number 10? And is he Derek Carr or whatever? You know, there's a level for Bo. So you're in the Bo Nix, Sean Payton business. How much does that work? You need to have better playmakers around him before you're asking anything. Mike with the perfect comment. Bo will be fine. Bo will be fine. A rookie quarterback with 0 playmakers can only do so much. Bo will be fine. Let the build happen in the rebuild. And honestly, if you want to blame John Elway, go for it. Not for any of his terrible picks, but because he never rebuilt. You should have just scrapped it. After Super Bowl 50, honestly, John should have just retired. And then you go out on top with Payton, and you're like, yep, did it as a player, did it as an executive. My first pick was a Hall of Famer and Von Miller, and I'm done. Won Super Bowl 50, done. Here you go, Gary. Good luck. But they never just flat out rebuilt, just tore it down. It was always like trying, and it wasn't working. Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, etc. Like, no, you should just down to the studs, right? And they never did that. So, yeah, are they going to trade for a running back? No. I like what J Tree says here. Run the ball as a mentality. Purdy wouldn't be nearly successful without it. Run the darn ball. And I remember talking to Brock Purdy at the Shrine Bowl for an hour in the Players Lounge. I thought I was going to buy insurance from him because he thought he was done. He thought he was done playing. And they play in the Super Bowl. So it's about ready to get paid. So, yeah, would Brock Purdy look like Brock Purdy if you didn't run the ball? Look at how Green Bay, I'll bring up a very recent example because it was today. Look at how Green Bay helped out Malik Willis. Malik Willis, I know at times there was buzz. Again, the entertainment portion of the draft is different from the evaluation portion of the draft. There was times when there were people talking of him as the number 2 overall pick, Malik Willis. Fell in the draft because, well, he should have fallen in the draft. Has a hose for an arm. He can run. He has no idea what to do with the ball. Has no idea where to put it. Can't place the ball. Can't throw it in the ocean standing on the beach. But he's got a hose and he can run. Look what Green Bay did and setting him up. What Josh Jacobs have, like 150 yards, something like that? I just saw the box score on the bottom of the screen. You know, you got to watch a little red zone, whatever. And the Broncos game comes on, you lock in. But, like, look at that. And that's a team that has more playmakers. That is a team that is certainly has their identity down for sure. Green Bay knows, and Brian Gutekunst, God bless you. Because Ted Thompson, as someone who got to have coffee with Ted Thompson and Ozzie Newsome at the Shrine game a few times at the weigh-ins, just be able to pick the brain of those two gentlemen, and, you know, God bless and rest in peace, Ted Thompson. But for Gutekunst to take over that team from Ted Thompson and to still have Ted's like intent for finding talent that fits what you are. I mean, there's a reason why Green Bay couldn't be Super Bowl contenders for a decade now that they got Jordan Love. But look at what they did there. Hey, Willis is in. He doesn't know what he's doing. Let's run the ball. And Josh Jacobs is better than Javonte Williams, and Javonte's broken. Can we all just admit it now? Javonte is broken. And, well, this is what you get, 1.5 a carry. But look at what Green Bay, we don't have a quarterback. Justin Fields is a better passer than Malik Willis. And Justin Fields is not a good passer. Malik Willis is really rough. Green Bay, let's run the ball. Let's set you up. Why can't Denver do that? Why can't they do that with Bo Nix? You are not helping Bo Nix with lack of talent and these game plans that are just very odd. It's not the offense, it's not the system. The game plans are very, very odd. So, whatever. Anyway, appreciate the chat room for showing up, except for that one guy who just kept going after Bo. It's like, come on, dude. Come on. Why isn't the rookie good immediately? Come on. All right, that's a wrap for the new show name, Orange Blue Postgame Live. Because Andrew Mason said it. He said, just change the name so then we can be on 7 days a week. Yay. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening to The Fan. We appreciate you. We are your home for the Broncos, unofficial, because of course KOA pays to have that moniker, but like we know where you go for Broncos talk, and it's us. It's nobody else. It's us. So I know all of us on The Fan and Denver Sports take that very seriously, that you come to us for your Broncos news and opinion, because we're not paying the team to have that moniker, and we're not going to do fanboy media of like, everything's fine, everything's awesome. We're going to tell you the truth. And with that mantra of seek the truth and speak the truth, like when we say be patient with Bo, means be patient with Bo. All right? Because if anyone was like, it's totally fine, I would call them out, and I would call them out by my name because I don't care. And if anyone was saying Bo Nix sucks, well, I would say that's untrue, and I would call them out by name because I already have. Todd McShay, how many times I bring up his 3rd round grade? Like, that's wrong. It's wrong-headed. Let's watch. Let's be excited for the kid's future. And let's hope Sean Payton does more to help him out. He's asking Bo to do too much right now, and he just can't do it yet. It doesn't mean he can't. Do not give up hope on Bo Nix. Doesn't mean he can't do it. It just means right now it's not working. How do you make it work? Run the ball. Anyway, appreciate the thousands of comments. Sorry, I only got to a few. I appreciate, I've got 2,000 people watching live. So thank you all very much for that. Like Tyler Beatty. Am I the Tyler Beatty of talk show hosts? But I understand it's a blessing every time I get to crack this mic. I know what it means. I know how hard I've fought to do that. And so I appreciate it every time I get to talk to you all about football, because we all love football, and let's go Broncos. So I'm Cecil Lammey saying, be safe, be kind, know that you're appreciated. It's from Kempo Karate. Stay tuned, and would you please stay frosty.